Let's get on to Discord and let people know that I'm here. I am on YouTube and I'm on TikTok tonight, so feel free to join on either. If you want to see my screen, then that will be YouTube. I haven't sussed out how the clever people do it on TikTok, on share the screen, but they end up having a very small screen anyways. I think YouTube's probably better. Hey Phil, how are we doing, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for dropping in. Hey Pete, how are we doing, buddy? G'day in Brisbane. I won't go too over the top with the accent because I will start sounding like a completely different nationality, as all my accents always do. So not very good at doing that. But yeah, okay, so pretty much the weekend expected. An awful close to the week and a pretty volatile weekend with Bitcoin in the market in general being very, very unpredictable. XRP has seemed to consolidate around his 50-cent mark. It is a big area of resistance. If we can turn that into support, then that would do us very, very nicely indeed. I just put a video out there just to confirm. As I said at the beginning of the week, I am going to take some profit, and I have. So I've bought back in already. So I'm just an accumulation game. So yes, sold a little bit of XRP, took the profit, and bought back when it did. So all done. Ashjan, how are we doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're well. Hey Paul, how are we doing, buddy? Yeah, she's literally. It's just something not very nice has made her feel not very well, and I'll leave it at that. It's nothing major. She's not actually ill. So yeah, she was just something turned her stomach, and I'll leave it there. But yeah, good to see you on YouTube, Paul. I hope you're very, very well. So yeah, as I was saying, XRP. I didn't take my profits at the top. I probably took a little bit of profit around about this 53-cent mark. I think it was actually on the way down. I think I missed the top, so I think I took it about 53. I bought back in somewhere around about 48 and a half. So yeah, about a 10% upside on that. So only a little bit. I didn't sell everything, of course. It's just a fraction. I'm not playing a trader's game. I'm not that way inclined. But yeah, XRP for me was a good one. It was obviously after such a big run that it was going to come back down, especially this weekend when everything's been pretty nasty. Thank you for the rose, Crypto Psychosis. I appreciate that, buddy. Mark on YouTube, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you over there. I hope you're very, very well on this Sunday evening. So yeah, I'm just gonna chill now for an hour or so with you guys here on TikTok, and then get ready for the working week tomorrow. Slowly stepping away from your NFTs on Solana. To be fair though, Phil, you did do really, really well with your NFT trading. I tried to follow your footsteps, and you did make me money on one occasion, and I just didn't listen the rest of the time. So, you did incredibly well out of Solana and NFTs, and I applaud you for that. It was just something I never really had time to get my head into, and I could have made more money following you and what you did, to be fair, but yeah, I prefer my normal crypto projects, to be fair. Where is the cat? The cat is out this evening, but I do have the dog, and you will hear her snoring any moment. She's just gone into a cage and settled down, so she'll be snoring away very, very shortly. Not looking forward to stock markets opening tomorrow. I hope it doesn't hit crypto too hard. I'm kind of hoping that everything hit the markets hard on Friday, because if it didn't, we could see the dollar flipping the pound, and that I don't think that's ever happened in my lifetime. So that would be a really scary thought. The pound and the dollar got hit hard. The dollar just seems to be getting stronger and stronger, which in many regards for the US is great. It means that the dollar in demand means that their native currency is very strong, but it does mean it's going to cause other issues. So obviously, for the rest of us, everything gets weak against it. Gold, oil, sterling, it's all going down. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting opening to trading tomorrow for sure. Um, as I said, we've had a weekend of real volatility. XRP dipped down to 45. It's back up to 50 now. We did see 55, nearly 56. Bitcoin itself this weekend. Let's have a look. Typical Bitcoin action, just going real sideways. It's been in a real bad channel for a long time, and we've just got this sideways volatility again. We are creeping along this level of support that we've had for some time, and if we break that to the downside at the moment, I think we would suffer. 17.6 would be easily seen again from here if we did break down, and if we break 17.6, then we could be going really, really low. Steve the Power, how are you doing, buddy? I hope you're well. Good to see you there on TikTok. Problem with crypto is it's never been through a recession. Absolutely right, 100%. We have to remember that, whilst crypto has seen bear markets and Bitcoin's seen bear markets, they have never seen a recession. We have no idea how crypto will behave in a recession. It does loosely follow the markets at the moment, which is kind of a blessing because you can sort of assume that what happens, for example, in the S&P 500, crypto should roughly follow suit. They are investments after all. It's just that crypto is just so much more volatile and so much more susceptible. ETH will be down 30% in the next 2 weeks after move to POS. Miners will sell it all while high now. I agree with you, Phil, in that regard. And I have real concerns about ETH because the EVM technology is fantastic. But this move from proof of work to proof of stake to satisfy, the powers that be, that it's not, the environmentally negative impacting thing, beast that everyone thinks it is. It's a bad move. I mean, I personally think ETH could be killed. There are better networks, 100% in development. I've seen some projects that completely blow it out of the water. I've seen some projects that do exactly what ETH does, but better. And they just need adoption. So if that happens, ETH is dead. Gilbert will carry us through the recession. Gilbert Verdian, our hero and Lord and Master. I think we should just start calling Gilbert Verdian our Lord Commander. Let's just get it out there. Gilbert Verdian, Lord Commander. Quant be with you to guide us through the crypto winter. Winter is coming, and Gilbert Verdian, our Lord Commander. Do I stake XRP, and if so, where? To be fair, I don't, because to put XRP anywhere to stake it, you pretty much have to hand your keys over, and I'm not doing that with XRP. I'm just going to stand to one side and see what happens. Aaron will see us through the recession. I don't know about seeing you through the recession. I think we're all going to suffer horrifically in crypto. We will all lose money. I'm down just like everyone else. Yes, I made some decent profit last year when I started trading. I was very lucky. I am still massively up in crypto. But like everyone else, my portfolio from the high in the bull run, I'm 60% down, nearly 65% down now. And I've got bullish projects that aren't doing well. I mean, I've got things that are really hurting, like Akala. I was incredibly bullish on that, and it is a fantastic project. But the fact that we still can't trade it on their decks after the exploit, I mean, confidence is more than knocked. I can't even get at my tokens if I wanted to sell them. So yeah, really dubious now about how well I'm going to survive the bear market. But I've not seen a bear market before either. Nice tea, thank you, Lisa. Yep, this is Silverback. So this is a tea I picked up at Arnie Fest yesterday. So that was a good one. Why is ETH POW bullying? To be fair, I had to sort of say this yesterday. I have not researched what ETH POW is doing in order to maintain an ecosystem. So I really don't know why ETH POW is pumping. I have no idea, is the absolute honest answer. Stevie XRP, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. A big inverse head and shoulders pattern forming on the Quant 3-day chart. Let's have a look at the Quant 3-day chart. If you're on YouTube with me, you will be able to see this. So let's zoom out to the 3-day. I might not have the 3-day. No, I haven't got the 3-day because I don't pay for Trading View. But let's have a look. Let's see if we can get it on the daily. No, I don't think it's there on the daily. Not that I can see. I mean, we got. Yeah, I suppose it's there. Probably more prominent on the 3-day for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think most of crypto now we have to face that the macroeconomic situation that we're in right now is really, really not healthy. Oh, I've gone back to Bitcoin, haven't I? What's going on there? I want quant. There we go. There's the inverse head and shoulders forming. Right, I'm with you now. So yeah, it's kind of visible on the hourly, on the daily, but not. I haven't got the 3 daily, so I couldn't say. Can't everything just go back to all-time high? I really hope it does at some point. I mean, I am in crypto for the long term. I'm not a trader. I am a long-term investor, and so for me personally, I want things to be cheap now, so that in the bull run that they're really good. But also, I'm kind of, the more I learn, the more I'm thinking about getting into projects early. And I'm currently researching projects that haven't even hit the market yet. So I'm looking for really good tech with good long-term possibilities, huge investment behind it. Because some things that get invested in by certain groups really are too big to fail. Solana had $330 million invested in it by VCs and capital venture firms. So if you can find things like that, then surely the money's going to make money. Making good returns in quant, but really hoping XRP goes to all-time high. It's a big October, November coming. Yeah, I mean, we've still got the elections, haven't we? The midterms. There's already people arguing about whether or not they do actually have an impact on it or not, but we'll see. Can you take a look at XRD? So I've just got a question on YouTube, so I'll have a look at XRD shortly. What did I say about ETH? I really haven't researched it enough to know what's happening. Personally, I think proof of stake is in trouble, but I don't know why POW's blowing up. So, yeah, that's all I could really say. I haven't researched it enough to know what's actually happening. Kind of surprised. I mean, XRP did dip. I mean, it went down. It went down a good 17-18% from the high it reached. But we're back up to 50 cents again. So it's recovered half of that already. So resistance is definitely there at 50 cents, which is what I was saying the other night. It's a round number. And on the way up, we always struggle to break through these round numbers. It's where people place their sell orders. So many XRP haters I've always believed would be great to shut them down ASAP. Absolutely. Miners will switch to ETH POW. I mean, I know that the miners are going to switch back to ETH POW, but what will that achieve? What is still in operation on the ETH proof of work system? I don't know what they would actually do there. Oh, sorry. Heard that ETH will eventually go to zero during the multiple triple halving years to come. Possibly. Silverback gymwear, yeah, absolutely. I got the silverback on, Lisa, well spotted. Seen some ridiculous XRP price predictions. There are some crazy valuations, but that's based upon kind of international banking sized transactions. And let's face it, if the network ever has that volume of traffic, it will become a private network. XRP will not be available to trade. It'll be taken off exchanges. There'll probably be an initiated buyback, which we'll all make a lot of money on, but it'll be a case of either take the buyback or lose your XRP because we're going onto a private network. I think $5 to $10 is reasonable, possibly even higher than that, multiples. But these valuations are thousands of dollars. I think by the time that we get to that kind of valuation, we would see some kind of private network initiated. What do I think of Ethereum POW? As I said, I haven't really researched Ethereum proof of work and what it will still be doing. So I really can't comment on ETH at all. I've been so busy researching new projects that I haven't really paid attention to what happens to proof of work now and what it's going to be used for moving forward. So it's a difficult one. I need to spend some time to get my head around it and work it out. But going back to the question on YouTube with regards to XRD, XRD is not on my watch list at the moment. Can I get it? No, I can't. So let's go on to here, XRD. Why can I not find XRD? Radix. There we go. I knew it would be Radix. Who was it who asked? Chris. Yeah, Chris is a Radix fan. So Radix is doing all right. It's up 1% today. Radix is a fantastic layer 1 DeFi. It's a dedicated DeFi blockchain. It looks like it's got a typical bull run chart of just pump and dump, but it did come out towards the end of 2021. It wasn't there for the whole bull run. So, I think, they launched in the midst of a bull run and they've suffered the consequences ever since. Hopefully they do survive the bear market, because I do believe that Radix is a good project. The only reason I haven't invested in that myself is because I've been going so heavily into other projects. And that is really the only reason. But it's great technology. I do like it. Long term all the way. Absolutely, Crypto Hampshire. I mean, I think especially in the bear market, if you're looking to pick up bargains, you can't think as a trader. You can't think, all right, this is going to go up 20% in a week, because we don't know. It's so volatile. You just can't live. I couldn't live like that, which is why I've chosen to be a long-term investor. So I look at the price of something now. Let's take Quant as an example. So Quant at the moment is $119. Now, I am dollar cost averaging again now that Bitcoin's down below 20k. I'm quite happy in this area to dollar cost average. I started in crypto during the bull run last year. These are still cheap prices for me, bringing down my DCAs. So if I was to buy more Quant now, I would look at it and think, okay, $119. There's been some green candles recently. Is it going to pull back? Yes, it will. But I'm going to be holding it 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And I firmly believe that if we see the adoption that we think is coming for Quant, it's easily going to be $1,000 coin, 4-figure coin. Because the market cap only has to be 14.5 billion. And we saw the likes of Luna, Solana, and AVAX all go to 40 billion. So it only needs really to achieve about a third of that to be a 4-figure coin. And of course, the coin's getting scarcer on exchanges, which is pumping the price up. Quant are always doing good work, and Gilbert Verdian, our Lord Commander, he is always working hard, and there's been no really big news from Quant. I think the price action is supply on exchanges. So for me, Quant is fantastic long term, and I wouldn't even try and trade that. And I know I've sold a little bit of XRP, taken a little bit of profit and put it back in, just an accumulation game. But I wouldn't do that with Quant. I think Quant I'm probably going to hold and just carry on DCAing now. I'm not going to muck around with it. Absolutely, diamond hand the Quant. Also the XRP now. I mean, I think unless XRP really dips hard, I'm not going to go out there and deliberately buy more. If it runs up hard, I might take profit again, but I'm certainly not going to plough more money into XRP at this level. I'm happy to diamond hand that now. Quant could dip, but it's a great price now. Absolutely. I think if Quant gets cheaper, I'm just happy to buy more. I will spend the same amount of money and get more Quant. Brilliant. Win-win. There's only a 12 million supply of Quant. It's insane. Yeah, I mean, there's 12 million in supply at the moment. The maximum supply, I think, is 14.5, which is why it's quite an easy valuation. 14.5 million. If it's fully diluted and it's a $14.5 billion market cap, it's $1,000. If we're not fully diluted, if we stay around 12, 13, and then we get to a $14.5 billion market cap, then obviously it's about a $1,200 coin. It is supreme in its tokenomics. Very, very good tokenomics. Big announcement for Injective Protocol tomorrow. Hope you've been keeping track. Injective Protocol is one that has been completely off my radar. So I am not familiar with Injective at all. Let's have a look. See what the old CMC says. So it's up 10% today. Supply is looking good and healthy. it's been on a nice little run actually. For the last 2 or 3 days, it's been looking nice and green. So we've gone up from a week low of $1.43 up to over 180. So a 40 cent rise on 140 would be about a 30% rise, I think. XRP prediction. To be fair, Big Nigel, I'm not making predictions on XRP apart from the fact that I'm holding it until I get to my price target of $5 to $10, and then I'll start selling a little bit and taking profits for sure. But yeah, no predictions about the court case because in the year and a half I've been buying XRP and holding it, we've heard nothing but settlement rumors and bullish news. So none of it's ever come to any. I try not to get too excited about XRP now, but there has been a lot of news, and hence why you've seen a lot more of XRP from me. Do I think Algo is a good buy? I mean, Algorand is a good project. I think it's got solid use case. Of course, it's ISO regulated, certified, I should say. But we've got to remember, ISO, it's only like a system. It's a standard that people have signed up to adhere to and work to in the financial sector. So these projects that have been certified as ISO compliant, it only means that they are able to work to that standard. It doesn't mean that they are, or that they will. So we're still prospectively saying that these companies should do very well if they're adopted. But what happens if the only two that are adopted are XRP and XLM? What happens to Algorand? What happens to XDC? What happens to all these other ISO projects? Nothing, because they don't get any business from it. It's like a health and safety standard. Everyone should work to it. Not everyone's certified, but everyone tries to work to that standard. And not all of these monitoring companies are used. So, ISO is a great opportunity, but which ones will actually win the race in ISO to be used and utilized to help companies and institutions adhere to this standard of practice? We don't know. It's still an open game. Is staking fully guaranteed, or can our assets be lost? There are no guarantees in crypto. Depending on how you stake, most of the time you hand your keys over. So you basically, your crypto is on that exchange or on that platform, being utilized by that project. And if that project goes under, your crypto's gone. And there's no real project, there's no governing body. You are on your own. One of the things that might benefit us, I'll have to look at exactly what they've been licensed for, but Crypto.com, they're now FCA regulated here in the UK. That doesn't automatically mean that you're insured like your bank account, but there may well be some of that kind of thing coming in terms of crypto in the UK. If they adhere to the FCA and they sign up to an FCA for a license, generally they're going up to a financial standard, and there are levels of cover available within the financial conduct region in the UK, but not directly as a result of that licensing. Absolutely not guaranteed though. There's no guarantees in crypto at all. There are a few projects that offer guarantees on certain things, and that will be an independent offering from their own liquidity, or they'll have specific insurance place underwritten for it. But generally, if you stake, that is high risk, and that's why staking is high risk, high reward. It is because there are no guarantees. You're taking a risk, and they are rewarding you for that risk. Thoughts on the future of Crow? It doesn't excite me like before. Crow for me still is very exciting. I think in terms of the marketing work that they've already done and paid for, the development they're doing in the Staples Center, there's a lot of works they're doing there. I think there was $700 million they spent on it, and there's probably another few $100 million going in refurbishment works and renovation works. I think that was the plan. They've also got the World Cup sponsorships, they've got UFC sponsorships and other things that are happening all the time. Their marketing team's fantastic. Yes, the staking rewards and the spend rewards have been slashed, but ultimately their core use case is as a crypto exchange. And if you look at their crypto exchange, it's very easy to use. Retail adoption will come through Crypto.com, through all the advertising and all the marketing, and that will lead them into the Kronos DeFi space. It will expose them to crypto and DeFi. So I'm still massively bullish on Crow. Do I think big financial institutions will offer staking over the next few years? I think once we see a regulated environment where the big financial institutions can offer products out to the public, we will see some forms of staking offered by crypto banks, if you like. I think the rewards will be much less because clearly they'll be regulated, they'll have to behave themselves, less risk. But yeah, I think there's a good chance they will offer staking, but it won't be the crazy interest rates that we're used to. Is Chiliz and Solana a good time to buy now? I don't follow Chiliz at all. The utility is pretty sound, and Solana I just don't personally like. I don't hold any. And it depends how you're going to trade it. If you're going to hold on to it forever and it does well, then it could be a good time to buy. But the market's probably going to dip more. So I can't offer financial advice anyway. I will GT when the XRP hits all hay. Who cashed in all their quant yesterday to put in $100? Just me then. Mark, if you did that, that was a brave move, fella. Brave move. What do I think of you hodler? You can get 4% APR for XRP, 10% APR for DOT, and paid weekly. You hodler is not a product I've ever heard of. For me, staking is native. So I don't stake my XRP or hold my XRP anywhere. It's safely stored. And everything else, if I stake it on a native platform. So like ICP is on the NNS governance service. My Moonbeam, my Moonriver are on their governance services as well. DOT, I've got invested in the parachain, so not technically staked, but invested with DOT as part of one of their projects. So yeah, not a huge fan of staking outside the native network because it damages the project really. They're trading with someone else's tokens. All they want to do is make money. Big Nige loves Nexo. I do know a lot of people who are fans of Nexo. A lot of creators I know have used Nexo very happily for a while, and they're very happily using it. Have I got a price that Bitcoin could drop to? I think if we lose support where we are, we could go down to 17.6 again, and then 17.6 is the only real local area of support that we've got. Down past that, we're going back to levels in 2020. So I think it was something like 17.6 and then 16.5, and there's a few vague areas of support, but they're so old that they don't really mean anything. You're just drawing a line from one place to another across a chart. I don't really think that's genuine support when it's that far back. What do I think about the Celsius debacle? Put my Ethereum in and they're bloody weak. Yeah, I mean, Celsius was a big shock for a lot of people. A really surprising thing. But again, I never used Celsius. So I don't really know how Celsius worked, how long they locked you in for. But Celsius hurt a lot of people. And the thing is with crypto at the moment, there's no real punishment for these people in terms of protecting your investments. It is very much, unfortunately, a buyer beware industry right now, and that's why I would welcome a degree of regulation. Didn't realise the pound is at a 37-year low against the dollar. I knew it was bad, but not that bad. Yeah, it took a massive hit on Friday. I think we went down for like $1.16 against, $1.16 down to about $1.09 against the pound. It was a big dump. But the dollar's really strong at the moment, and it's going to hurt a lot of markets. Gold, silver, oil, all down against the dollar. Hey, old school, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Very well today. I've had a nice day of rest today. $40 of XRP free each month, straight into Nexo for interest. Very nice. Which coins do I think could 20x by 2025? I think the 20x for me, a possible 20x. I think my favourites for that at the moment are things like Moonbeam, A Star, Moon River, those projects coming out of the Polkadot network that I really think could genuinely challenge in terms of layer one blockchains. I think they're really, really strong. I have got a couple that I'm researching at the moment that aren't even out. And bearing in mind, 2025 is a long way away. Looking at projects that are being funded at the moment and in development at the moment is not a bad idea, because we could see a lot of the projects, even young projects that are very well funded right now, go under. Now, for me, if you look at Solana, Solana was funded $330 million. That was pretty much going to succeed regardless, because the VCs wanted their money back. They would have pumped money into marketing until the day they died to get that money back. So if you could find other projects like that that have had that kind of investment, then good odds are going to make someone money, and follow the money. Let's have a look. What have we got here? I think Atom will 20x. Atom's very, very big already. I think we would have to have a hell of a bull run for Atom to 20x, but it's definitely one that I like, and I'm aiming to hold some Atom, which I've never done before. Although I love Polkadot, Atom is a great layer zero, and I would hold that quite happily. Just like I would hold Chainlink as I hold Quant. Really lost love for crypto, but looking at Bitcoin yearly chart looks very bullish. It's in depression. Absolutely. Yeah, crypto's never seen a recession. I think Bitcoin could still get hit very, very hard, in which case the whole market goes down. I'm very bearish. Macroeconomics right now are awful. There's no reason to be bullish whatsoever. Any cold wallets you could recommend? If you're talking hardware wallets, just the two main ones, Trezor and Ledger. They're two good ones. If you're talking cold software wallets, I mean, there's so many out there. I use MetaMask a lot. But there are so many other wallet solutions and cold storage solutions, excuse me. But yeah, always, the safest way is always to get your keys off of the internet altogether. So, hardware wallets are always going to be the best solution. Thoughts on Nervos Network? Big Nige? I've been watching Nervos Network a long time. I genuinely have. And it's one of those, it's so volatile, but it looks half decent, and it's such a small market cap. You just think, what if that takes off? It's one of those ones, it's a big gamble. They launched in 2019, so they haven't really seen a bear market before. They launched towards the end of a bear market, you could say, which is a brave decision. They saw the bull run and performed incredibly well, up to 4 cents, and then back up to 3.5 cents, and then pretty much down from there. So, that probably has got a 10x in it in the next bull run if it shows the same amount of interest. I mean, the utility is half decent. It's an open source public blockchain with a collection of protocols, which is not something I've heard too much about. So it's a pretty good layer one network. If it saw adoption, it could do really, really well. It's definitely one to keep an eye on, because it does go on some pretty impressive runs sometimes. I mean, in the last month, it ran up from 0.35 cents up to 0.45 cents. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a 30% run up in price. That is substantial in a bear market. I have a limit in for $35 on Solana. I mean, where is Solana right now? I don't even monitor the price of Solana. That's how disinterested I am in it at the moment. I just think that Solana is one of these things. It was a good alternative to Ethereum at the time, but I think something better will come out. And there's two things that I think are better than Solana now. Moonbeam being one, which I'm incredibly bullish on, because it is Ethereum on the Polkadot network with all those benefits. But also there's crypto projects coming out now because scalability is a big issue, and I'm looking at layer one projects that are truly scalable, and they're exciting. And I've said this last night. I'm not going to share that research yet, but if you want to share it, you want to see it as early as I publish it. It's going to be published on the Discord, which is free. But once I get my head around that research, and I think it really is as good as I think it is, I'll be sharing one or two absolute blinders on there that I think have massive potential. A bit bullish because everyone else and their dog is bearish. Yeah, I mean, generally in crypto, that's the way to be. If everyone else is scared and bearish, be the brave one. Be the one buying. But in a bear market and in a recession, we don't really know if that's going to continue to ring true. ARweave or Filecoin. I think Filecoin's older tech than ARweave. I don't distinguish a leader from the two. Filecoin's very well established and definitely in use. ARweave's got great potential too. I think I would probably stick with Filecoin just because of the partners it's already got. But ARweave's got that P word that I like, potential. It's got good potential. What are my thoughts on the stuff happening with Lunar Sea? Exactly what I thought would happen. Everyone's losing interest in it and it's dumping. It's a community token with no benefit. And everyone's realised that this 1.2% tax burn is nothing. It's a nothing use case. And now they're looking at maybe being able to spend it somewhere. Spending your crypto for me is not a use case. That's helping someone sell the crypto. And the only way a community token gets stronger is for people to hold the crypto and buy more. So it doesn't do any good at all. It's just marketing. And I think Lunar Sea is as vulnerable as any other meme coin project. Have I looked into Trius? Yeah, Trius I traded last year. I don't trade many tokens, but Trius is one that I know VCs play on. So when Trius is cheap, it's worth a punt for me. Well, it was in the bull run anyway. I haven't played with it in the bear market because it's just too unpredictable. But Trius is one that was flagged last year and really traded hard by VCs. And it probably will be again because it does outwardly look like a great use case and it could still succeed despite being traded so much. But it is very much a trader's coin. No problem, Acoustic Llama. You're welcome. No problem. As I said, cold wallets and storage, always recommend going hardware wallet if you can. They're a little bit more fiddly. You do have to learn about them because you're getting your keys offline. Your crypto stays on the blockchain, of course. It's just the keys you move, so no one can do anything with it. You have loads. Think it may have a chance. It definitely, it has a chance. Everything has a chance as long as it survives the bear market. My bricks looks promising. Decent utility. One of the first ones of its kind, really. Not something I invest in because it's kind of out my area. We can't invest in everything, and that's definitely out of my kind of comfort zone. Sakib Wasim, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Awaiting FCA approval on the property crypto coin. Yeah, I mean, if they can get FCA approval, that's big. We know that the UK Land Registry has been looking at blockchain technology for a number of years. I think as early as 5 years ago, possibly they tested a sale on a blockchain and it worked very, very well. Was it 5 or was it 2? Can't remember. But yeah, the Land Registry have already tested blockchain several years ago. So I think property, Land Registry, all that kind of stuff is something that's perfectly suited to the blockchain. Holding all that stuff, you could almost imagine like the title deed of your house being an NFT, and you would trade the NFT, not necessarily the property itself, but the NFT would be traded. That would be your ultimate proof of ownership, would be holding that NFT. What's happening with Lunar Classic? It's dying the death, as was pretty predictable. The big investors have made their money. They're probably buying up the cheap stuff again, so that when people get all excited about it again, they can dump on them again. It's a typical meme coin there. Near for scalability. Yeah, Near is good for scalability. I agree. Near is very, very solid. Solana will do well, 350 to 700 in the next bull run. The only way that Solana could do that well is that they have to make the network better. They have to make it more reliable. They have to make it more secure. That's the only way Solana will run. Because at the moment, I don't think Solana's scalable. I think it'll fall over. Whenever that network gets congestion, it falls over. They have a lot of work to do. Will regular Luna ever do well? I hope not. Anyone who holds it, I can appreciate you think it's a good opportunity, but I personally will never hold Luna again, out of principle. I think a lot of the people that held Luna at the beginning have already taken their profit, and I don't see it going very well. Have I heard of XYO? Yeah, I have. It's not something I really like. You can mine it on your phone by playing little games as you move around. So it's all right. You can earn free crypto, but it's a complete ball ache. But in terms of the network itself, it's actually okay. It's just if you want to earn free tokens from it, it's a bit of a ball ache. That's all it's really good for me. I wouldn't hold XYO long term for me personally. It's not my thing. XRP is pumping. Are we pumping on XRP again? Let's have a look. No, still hovering around about 50 cents. So we have pumped back up. This is the daily. Hang on. So now, XRP is still pretty much going sideways, above and below 50 cents. Pretty volatile for the last day or so. But it did recover from that dip. We went up, we spiked up to about 56 cents, came down to 45, and then we've recovered to 50, up and down. So I think that watching the markets opening tomorrow is going to be a very, very interesting thing. The dollar had a very strong close to the week. The pound performed really badly. Gold, silver, oil were all down against the dollar. And all the markets suffered Friday. So the opening of the markets tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting. Are we going to have power cuts soon? To be fair, in the UK, the energy crisis is more about the cost of provision, not necessarily the supply. So I don't think we're in danger of an actual power shortage. It's just the cost of providing that power. Generally, in the winter season, we do use a lot of energy anyway, and traditionally we see blackouts every now and again. So we could see it a bit more frequently, but it's usually to do with the actual supply, as in the network, the provision of power, rather than the supply of gas or anything like that. But it will be interesting to see how well the energy sector copes in the UK without the Russian pipelines being on. Cryptoli blocked you. Yeah, I mean, I've got to think carefully now before I speak, because Cryptoli, I can't remember who he is. There's a guy I've been watching recently quietly who is a little bit confrontational. He's very Marmite. I don't think that's Cryptoli. I can't remember who Cryptoli is. But yeah, I don't understand creators who block people. I mean, people come in here and argue with me all the time, and that's fine. It's their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But at the end of the day, Acoustic Llama's just going to sit there with their head torch on during the power crisis in the winter. So just made me chuckle, sorry. But yeah, Cryptoli, I can't remember who Cryptoli is. I really, really can't. Let me see if I can just quickly... I don't want to hop onto... I better not hop onto there in case you guys see something that I don't really want you to see on YouTube. What is this Moonbeam? Moonbeam is a layer 1 project on the Polkadot network. It's designed so that you can use all the EVM technology, Solidity, all the tools that devs use. You can just do an ETH project on Moonbeam using all the same wallets and everything. But you get the added bonus of it being on Polkadot. So literally, Moonbeam is like it is as if Polkadot and Ethereum had a child. That would be Moonbeam. It's the best way of describing it. And if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, did a post a while ago, which I nicked from Moonbeam Foundation. Literally, it was Go Tanks, so Fusion. So DBZ reference there for you if anyone understands that. Fair play. But yeah, I mean, Moonbeam is for me a really promising project for the next bull run. It wasn't around for the last one. It launched very end of December into January. Huge funding from the Polkadot Parachain auctions. 37.5 million Polkadot tokens funded in the crowd loan. So big, deep pockets, good tech, good team. So something I'm clearly very bullish on. But as I said, it's not the only thing. I'm going to do more research now to actually try and get projects before they even launch. So, Moonbeam's already out there. I still think Moonbeam is capable of some big numbers. If it is as successful as, let's say, Solana was in its first 2 years, it could, in theory, do 40 billion market cap. That's what Solana did in its first 2 years. And if it does that, Moonbeam is very, very well priced. Fingers crossed, no, it's just the paper scaremongering. Yeah, I think you're right, Lisa. I think there's a lot of scaremongering. It makes headlines, it sells papers. Well, not that anyone buys papers anymore, but Look at Rio Realio. Let's have a look. See what Rio is. I know who you've been quietly watching, and he hates Cryptoli. I can't for the life of me think who Cryptoli is. A face just isn't popping into my brain. I don't know why. So Rio is up 10.5% today, which is pretty cool. That's very good when everything else is not as impressive. In the last month, it's not been so good, but this is a bear market. It's less than 50% this month, which is actually pretty bad. In the last week, it's up 3 cents on 6, so it's up about 15-20% for the week. Yeah, monthly wise, it isn't so good. 3 month wise, it's pretty steady actually. Volatile, seen some upside on 3 months, down. Let's have a look at the use case. End-to-end blockchain-based SaaS platform for the issuance, investment, and lifecycle management of digital securities and crypto assets. Oh, that's Cryptoli. Okay, yeah, I'm not a fan. If you follow the links in his bio on TikTok, you get asked to buy a book. So he's only on TikTok to try and sell you shit. So yeah, my opinion, not anything personal. When he talks, he seems perfectly plausible, but you try and look into him, all you get is a link to a book sale site. ADA will be hit better than ETH. Will Cardano be better than ETH? It's a good question right now because ETH is not looking strong. I've started voicing my opinion now, and so I need to research ETH a lot more. But I get the impression that everything that's happened with ETH, with this merge and this move from proof of work to proof of stake, it's bad. It's bad for Ethereum, and when you put it together with the fact that Vitalik supposedly told people to sell a load of ETH earlier in the year, maybe he knew something back then. If he's selling his own coins, I should say, if he's selling his own coins before the merge, he's selling the rumor, not even waiting for the news. Cryptoli is the old black bloke. Yeah. My wife's just come in and shown me his profile. I have watched him a few times. As I said, he comes across as perfectly plausible. I obviously don't know the guy, but if you try and research him when he's on TikTok, the only thing you get is a link to his book sales site. and I'm not even sure it's a book he's written. I did ask the question actually on one of his lives, and he never answered it. £400 a month for his private group. Damn. Yeah, I wonder how many takers he gets on that. Actually, I might try it. What do I think about ETH proof of work? I think I need to research now what proof of work is going to do for Ethereum. As I said, I openly admit I haven't researched Ethereum and the consequences of the merge post-merge. So I need to look into what ETH POW is going to do. What's that proof of network going to be left doing? I don't know. So back over to usual. I think whilst all banks have staking locked in ETH2, it won't fail till they allow staking withdrawals in 6 months' time and then dump central. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's still too much money in ETH for it to completely disappear. People will want time to dump their bags. Accumulating dot, link, algo, veracity, quant, ultra, matic, XLM, XRP, Crow, ADA, Mana, Moonbeam, HBAR, ETH. Is that too much? Well, if you're investing long term and you don't have to look at it every day, then I think that's fine. I hold probably quite a lot more than that. I do need to consolidate my portfolio back down and decide what I want to actually hold long term. I'm thinking of selling things that actually I'm quite bullish on, so that I've got sufficient equity to invest in things that I'm researching at the moment. I will probably go in on very, very, very heavy. I do intend to do a lot of launch pads when the bull run resumes, and I do intend to follow the money in terms of new projects. So trying to find out what the VCs are buying. £400 a month does seem like quite a lot, doesn't it, Lisa? Rio, 500k market cap. Yeah, I mean, 500k puts it at risk. But yeah, I mean, market cap 134k, fully diluted 2 million, 7% in supply. That is dangerously low. They could release more coins onto the network, but I don't think that would push the price up. It would actually dilute the price. I don't like anything with less than like 40% supply out there. And to be under 10% in circulation is a real worry. When did they launch? So they launched in June 2020 and still only 7% in supply. That's pretty bad. Makes it very, very vulnerable. Will ETH flip Bitcoin in this coming bull run? For me personally, the way things are at the moment, I don't think it will. I think ETH looks very, very weak. But as I said several times, that I need to research it. I need to research what ETH is going to do for proof of work and proof of stake, what they're going to service, what the market wants of it, and that will then determine the long-term price action. Hello, Rold. How are we doing, buddy? Good to have you in here. Bought some more Near and XRP, and you bought more XRP today. That's a bold statement right there. I bought some back as well, but only because I'd sold it slightly higher up. So yeah, I mean, HBAR, I've always said it's great utility long term. I do like HBAR long term. But Near Protocol is definitely one that is on my list of things I would like to buy. It's just further down the list for me personally, but it's a great project. Any chance Ethereum Classic rises from the ashes? Again, it depends how much use case remains for it. I mean, there's every chance it could. But what we're now on we had Ethereum Classic and Ethereum, so we're now on the third iteration of Ethereum, in theory. So we don't really know. Considering dumping your ETH and buying your first chunk of quant. I do love quant, and whilst I am very bullish on it, obviously I couldn't advise or say whether or not that's the right thing to do. It's up to you. I question the future of ETH. I am certainly more bullish about the future of quant personally. But obviously what you do is your decision. I cannot advise you. Dot, Quant, HBAR, Phantom, XRP. I think they're fantastic bags, Phil. I do like those. I mean, Phantom for me is the only one that I possibly don't see lasting longer than 2 or 3 years. And that's only, I love it. It's fast and it's cheap, but it's not unique and it's not special. So whilst I still love Phantom, I think that there's a good chance it could come back for one more bull run. I think there's too many other projects out there now that do what Phantom does, but do it better. Um, the only added advantage of Phantom is that it's so cheap to use right now. Gas bars are quite gas bars. Gas fees are quite literally nothing. Solo and Core, yeah, they're absolute gems right now. I think it's going to be really interesting when Core moves over off of XRPL, because it is going to migrate off the XRPL. It's still going to use some of the technology, but Core is designed to be its own layer one blockchain, so it will come off of the XRPL, but it will still be associated. ETH 2030 price prediction. Ooh. Quant to the moon, absolutely. I completely love Quant. Am I streaming this TikTok live studio on desktop? No, I'm not. No, TikTok is done on TikTok. It's just got a custom background for the green screen. I'm live on YouTube right now as well. So YouTube, you can see my screen. This is just a normal TikTok stream, but I've just done it a clever way. What do I think of Luna C? It's a meme coin and it's already dying. My personal opinion. I'm all in on Quant. Got to trust the Gilbert. Yeah, Gilbert Verdine. I was saying earlier, Gilbert Verdine. Let's just rename him. He's Lord Commander Gilbert, as they say in Game of Thrones. He will see us through this crypto winter. Winter is coming, and our Lord Commander Gilbert Verdine will lead the way. CRV Curve. Curve is very highly used in DeFi. I think we've seen a lot of downside on Curve because, of course, the markets in terms of DeFi are very risk off right now. No one's taking big DeFi risks, but Curve is a big part of the DeFi future. For me personally, I think it plays a vastly important part of DeFi's future. I really hope it survives the bear market, and if it does, it should do exceptionally well. The only issue I do have with Curve is that their circulating supply 16%. Now I know a lot of that is because it's going to be because of staking or governance or whatever, but that's still a very, very low number that worries me. If it was all to flood the market from some big holders, it would have serious price effects. Hey Wayne B, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Where do I see the market going? For me personally, I'm looking at Bitcoin short term on the hourly and the 4 hourly and the daily, and I see it being in real trouble. The macroeconomics are really poor right now. Bitcoin has been going sideways for a couple of days. Oh, longer than that, really, if you zoom out. Let's have a look. So that's the 1 hour. The 4 hourly is a really good one to show because we've bounced off a support level 3, maybe 4 times in recent days and weeks. I don't think we'll stay above it if we come down this low again. I think 17.6 is then imminent, which is an area that we bounced off of quite a while ago. And after 17.6, we've got some big steps down. There's no real support levels till you look at numbers back in 2020. So if we go onto the daily and then kind of bring this down and then bring this across, just look at the lack of support below 17.6. We're going back to, I think it's December 20. So below 17.6. It's 16.5. I said that earlier. And then we got some small steps, but then we're down to 13, 14. There's very little support, and you've got to go back a long way to find it. And I'm not so sure that the market is in the same state as it was. I don't think drawing that long line across does you any benefit right now, personally. So we're getting squeezed into this. We will either see a large test to the upside, or we will break down. And we're more likely to break down, I believe. Quant has gone over £100. Is it too late to get into? For me, personally, Quant, I'm holding for years, and I see it as a four-figure coin. So, am I still DCAing into it at $120? Yes. I can't answer if it's too late for anyone else, but my long-term strategy, Quant is still a buy. Any idea on the decision date for XRP? I don't think that's even due to be looked at until mid-November now. I don't think they're going to be able to force the judge. I said this on someone else's live the other day as well. I think Judge Netburn is not going to want to make that decision. She will not want to set any kind of precedent for crypto. It's too big. That's really a matter of law that needs to be created. All she can do is rule upon whether or not it was a security. And I think if we look at the headlines that we've perceived in terms of XRP supporters, there's a fair notice defence there to be answered. And I think possibly Ripple win on that case alone. But then if you look at whether or not they're security, I don't think you class them. I don't think they fail the Howey test now. They might have done back then, in a way. But fundamentally, that would only be a fine now because it's not like that anymore. Sizable fine, maybe. If there's a settlement, there might be a bit of a fine and a slight tweak to the use case of XRP. But I think there's just too much going against the SEC for this case. And as I said, I don't think Judge Netburn wants to make the decision. I think she wants the SEC to settle. But Ripple have come out a few times and said they don't want to settle. They want to keep going because they want clarity. Do I like Elrond? I do like Elrond. I'm not a huge fan. I don't hold it. And I don't know an awful lot about it as a result. But it's decent. I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't like Elrond. It's just there's so many different crypto projects you can't like and trade and familiarise yourselves with them all. But Elrond is certainly a decent one. I know some creators and influencers that have been in the space a long time really are very bullish on it. Why do I have so much faith in Gilbert? You go Google Gilbert Verdian CV. Check out his CV. It is literally on Google. Then go check out his Twitter account. Look at who he talks to. Look at where he goes. Look at what he's doing. Look at where he's been in terms of his experience on his CV. They are talking at government levels. Quant. I mean, they're not talking. They don't do a lot of business to business. It is literally talking to governments about CBDCs. So if Gilbert Verdian pulls it off and Quant part of a solution for CBDC stablecoin adoption for multiple countries, possibly, because a lot of them will probably choose to adopt the same kind of systems. Quant are just huge if that happens, if that gets pulled off. eToro you can leverage times X5P, 5XRP. I think if I was going to do any kind of leverage trading on XRP, I would wait and see what happens tomorrow. If it runs up, I might put a short. If I personally was to do it, and I don't like margins or futures trading, but if I was going to do it, I'd wait and see if it ran up. I'd rather short XRP right now than I would go long on it. But right now at 50 cents, it seems to be relatively volatile, but stable on the grand scale of things as you zoom out for the last few hours. It seems to be finding that medium 50 cent level. So yeah, I think a lot depends on what happens when the market's open tomorrow. Right then, folks, I am going to have to call it a day there because I've run over time. So I appreciate your time and effort this evening. If you don't follow me here on TikTok, please do. If you don't subscribe on YouTube yet, please subscribe on YouTube. I keep looking over there because my YouTube screen's there. I've got to swap this over. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate your support. I appreciate your time and your questions. But yeah, as I said, please do follow, subscribe. If you're on one or the other and you're not on the other, follow the links in my bio. Go check it out, subscribe and follow. Really appreciate your support. And I'll catch you all again soon.